Dr. Tiffany, thank you so much for being here on Spark TV. I'm so excited to have you.
Excited to be here, Danielle. Thank you.
Thank you for staying up for me and the Spark community. That is amazing. You're in St. Louis in Missouri.
Yes, yes, I am. And so actually it's just 6 p.m. here. So it's not too late.
No, that's
Yeah.
good. That's good. Oh, amazing. Amazing. Well, why don't we start out by telling everybody who you are and what you do, and we'll take it from there.
Okay. Well, I'm Dr. Tiffany Slater. I am the CEO and Senior Human Resources Consultant for HR Tailormade. And we provide human resources support to small businesses. So the same things that a human resources department does for a large organization, we just do it for small businesses because most times they can't afford to have a full-time HR person and don't need it, quite frankly.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I think so as a small business owner myself, I reflect on, it's really difficult when you're hiring first people kind of going, what do I need the most? And typically HR isn't top of the list, but there's always HR tasks that you would love to have help with, but you kind of can't justify a full-time person sometimes. So this is a brilliant solution. I love it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
And how did this eventuate? Have you always been in HR, or what was your journey to getting here?
Yeah, so I actually have always been in HR. It's the only thing I've done professionally. So almost 30 years of human
Wow.
resources. And I started as a human resources intern and
Cool.
went all the way up the ladder. So that's really kind of where it started. It's just the fact that that's all I knew to do professionally. And then when I decided to go out on my own, I was like, well, this is the only thing I know how to do. So, let me do this.
Oh, I love it. I love it. And so did you study something HR related to get into that internship, or just landed in it? How did that work?
Yeah, so I did. I actually did. I was working on a bachelor's degree in business administration. And my senior year, I changed my specialization from entrepreneurship to human resources.
Oh, that's so good. They both came back together.
Exactly. And then I got an internship in human resources to see if I really liked it. And I did. And each job led to the next job.
That's so good. So at what point did you say, that's it, I'm not working for anybody else, I'm doing this myself?
Yeah, I was pretty miserable
Mm,
in my last job, which is the typical story nowadays of entrepreneurs. Most female entrepreneurs now are really quitting because they were unhappy.
mm.
But yeah, I was pretty miserable, and I just figured I would rather trust God than to stay here and be miserable. And that is what I did. And I haven't looked back, not one time.
That is amazing, because it's pretty scary taking the leap from regular paycheck and the better the devil you know kind of vibes, like the if I just stay here, yes, I'm miserable, but at least I know what to expect.
Right.
What did you do to enable yourself to actually make that decision?
Yeah. Well, Danielle, honestly, I didn't feel like I had a choice. I
Wow.
I literally felt like this is so miserable
Mm.
that it could not possibly be any worse.
Yeah. Mm.
So I was just so unhappy. I couldn't do it anymore. And I just felt like God made it such that I couldn't stay. Like I just didn't have a choice.
Wow.
There was no other option for me. That's really the way that it felt for me.
Yeah. And how's it been? So, you know, obviously going, okay, this is it. Cannot take it absolutely anymore. I'm doing my own thing. What has then the journey of going from being an employee to business owner been like for you?
Yeah, so it's been really interesting. It's never the same. Every day is different. And um it wasn't easy.
No.
However, when you walk into my office, on the wall, it says, "Let your faith be bigger than your fear."
Mm,
That sustained me because I was so afraid, but I had
mm.
already done the hardest thing, which was quit a
Yeah, you've already
six-figure
taken the
job.
leap.
Yes, I mean,
Mm,
I quit, free benefits, a six-figure job, and
mm.
a job that I thought was going to be my dream job.
Yeah.
So the hard part was done. The what I had to do from that point forward was just trust God. And I literally prayed all the time that God just continue to light the path and I would follow.
Mm.
And I just kept saying, God, you made me a promise. You said you would give us the desires of our heart. And as a result of that, I just stayed in the space of embracing my faith.
Mm.
And that has definitely helped me every single step of the way. Um, so it's been hard, but that has been my way of coping and moving through it.
Well, and I love it because as business owners, sometimes that's what you really need to hold on to is just put one foot in front of the other. Like if
Yeah,
you think about if you sit down and you look at your to-do list, I'm looking at my to-do list on my desk in front of me right now and I'm like, I don't know how that's going to happen. I think sometimes that's such a beautiful approach because it is just one day at a time, one minute at a time, one task at a time, one step in, one foot in front of the other, just having that faith, that unwavering belief, yeah, that you can do it and that you did it for a reason and that the path will light up and that everything will
absolutely.
be okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I part of my journey too was just being very clear on what I will and what I won't do.
Oh, I love that.
One
Yeah.
of the things that I decidedly um, did was I'm going to be a very comfortable Christian and
Yeah.
I am going to be comfortable speaking about it, not
Mm,
to offend anyone. That is not my intent, but it is my truth. And it
yes.
is I hold on to. And so as a human resources professional, it's frowned upon to do that because you don't want to make anybody
Mm,
feel uncomfortable or that you're discriminating against anyone. And I get it, but this is my business and this is my space and this is how I choose to show up.
mm.
So that was very important to me. And then the other thing, I have a no butthole rule. So
That is the best rule.
it's the best rule. So I choose who HR Tailormade will partner with and who our clients will be. And I have the
Mm,
most amazing clients. They're wonderful people and they love their team
mm.
and they do all that they can to make sure that they are well taken care of. And that is the way that it should be. So,
Oh, you're so right. We go into business like to design a life we love and to create something amazing. And it's so funny that so many people get trapped in, oh, this is the way it should be done. This is what I see all the Instagram gurus doing. So this is what I should do. So I absolutely love like that you set those non-negotiables for yourself.
yeah.
That is a beautiful way to run business.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'll tell you too, what I learned is that I really love being a business owner.
Yeah,
I
tell
would
me
have
why.
never thought that. So I don't know, like I've fallen in love with systems. I've fallen in love with order and efficiency and making things run smoothly and results and
Mhm.
seeing the strategy that you put together actually bear fruit.
Mm,
So I am on a mission to becoming an amazing business owner. And that honestly is more important to me right now than being an amazing HR person. So I'm trying to balance that and finding amazing team members who can
mm,
do the great HR stuff to
yes.
allow me to do the great business stuff.
That is so cool because that's so important, right? Like actually surrounding yourself. So as a business owner, I think we get into it and we are it, right? We are the be all and end all. We do the things, we sell the things, we run the business, we create the vision. But at some point, if we want to scale, we really do have to bring in amazing people into our world. So I love that. What are you doing to skill up, to level up and become a better business owner? Are there things that you're actively seeking out?
Well, yeah, I am like a knowledge junkie.
That's
So,
amazing. Yes.
like, I love learning. I can frequently be caught searching for the end of Google.
Oh.
So that is one of the things that I do. I'm always looking for and researching things.
Mm,
Um, I also, like today, I had a sales training that I went to.
mm.
Sales
Yep.
is my least favorite thing to do,
It's
but
most people's least favorite thing to do. Yeah.
right. So I went to training so that I can get better. I have another training session that I'm going to on Wednesday. It's a female leadership class. And then I'm going through EOS training, entrepreneur operating system. So I am constantly learning and
Awesome.
taking in all of the things that will help me shore up my infrastructure
Mm,
so that it can support growth and
yeah.
it can support an amazing team. So that's what I'm doing.
I love that. I think that having that mindset of continuously learning is so important. I mean, I think that there are some basic business fundamentals like, financial reports and systems and maybe a little HR, but I think everything evolves, I think every year the world changes, our industry changes. And if we don't adopt that continuous learning mindset, we can get left behind. And that big vision that we had for our business doesn't always come to fruit.
Exactly. Or it may start looking like something that you don't even recognize.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's so true. I reflect on my past 10 years in business and that has absolutely been like turning points for me is when I go, oh, I don't like this anymore. I don't like showing up here anymore. I was like, well, you're the boss, so you can change this, you can fix this. And it
Yeah.
has been about taking a step back and really trying to reconnect with my values, what it is I'm trying to build, but then also doing the work and doing the research and learning and figuring out, what my path is in business.
Mhm. Yeah, for sure.
No, I love it. I love it. So what about challenges? So have there been any kind of key moments in your business journey that have really challenged you and how have you overcome those?
Yeah, so I'm actually in that phase right now that's
Yeah.
challenging me, and I have
Mm,
not yet overcome it. But we are doing well financially, but
mm,
not well enough to
mm.
have a full-time employee yet. So I have a couple part-timers, I
Yep.
have some contractors, but we're trying to grow, but I need more clients. And so do I hire the full-time person first or do I wait on the clients? So
It's
that's where I am.
such a balancing act, isn't it? It's a really tough one.
It is. It definitely is. And from what I understand, it is not uncommon for business owners to be here.
Yeah. And I mean, so interesting how your business helps other businesses with this whole problem, right? Like when a small
Yeah.
business is going through a phase where they need help, but potentially can't afford a full-time HR person, you actually plug in and solve that problem. But funny
Mhm.
how even you as a HR professional have the same problem in other areas.
Yes, absolutely. And it's almost like a psychic who can't read themselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
It feels like it's kind of the same thing for me when it comes to
Mm.
some HR things. It's like I know the answer for other people,
Yeah.
but being in it myself, it's almost kind of hard for me to even wrap my head around it.
Yeah, it is really difficult, isn't it? I mean, it's like, they say the website designer whose website's never built or the
Right.
builder whose house was never finished. It's sort of like we spend so much of our time and energy making sure our clients are okay, looked after, happy, we're driving results. But sometimes we feel guilty for actually taking a step back and reevaluating our own businesses.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree 100% because I'm constantly thinking about all the things that need to
Mm.
be done for other people.
Yeah. So how do you look after you in business? So if we think about, business and you as separate entities, maybe they are, maybe they're not. How do you look after you and keep yourself sane through this crazy journey?
I would venture to say I don't do a really good job, although lately I have been much more intentional.
Mm.
I actually have, was it last week? Last week, I went for a pedicure. I went to dinner with a
I
friend.
love it.
No, I mean, I just took an evening where I just went about my afternoon really slowly and
Mm.
enjoyed things. I've started downloading audiobooks
Cool.
of non-business related things.
Yeah.
And I did the audiobooks so that I wouldn't feel like I was working and I can
Mm.
just listen to it and not
Mm.
physically do anything else but listen. So I've done that.
That's amazing. I love that.
I
That's a really good hack, actually, like doing the listening, and that way you don't feel like you're actually working, like you can totally zen out.
You could paint your fingernails if you want to. I don't paint my fingernails because
Mm.
I like to pick it off,
Yeah.
but but that's actually something really good that you could do at that time to truly
Mm.
just stop. Or a
Mm.
lot of times I'll take a walk and I'll listen to the book. So there's so many little things that I do that definitely help. And there's a gym not far from me that I'll go to a couple times a week.
Mm.
So that's all I got.
Well, I love it though, because I think it is the small things. I think if we go, I'm taking, 3 days off a week, or I'm doing this, and like if you think it's one of those things I find if you think too big, sometimes it's too hard. So it
Yes.
is actually those micro moments of the pedicure or the slow afternoon or the audiobook. I
Yeah.
actually love that. And I think because I think breaking it up is really important as well. Like if we kind of go, all right, for the next 5 days straight, I'm just in total work mode, you almost don't enjoy it by the end because you're so exhausted. So
Yes.
breaking it up is super important.
Yes, I agree. And
Mm.
honestly, these trainings that I go to, I know they're
Mm.
work,
Yeah.
but they are energizing because I always walk away with something that I can actually implement as soon as I leave. And so
Yeah.
that's feels good.
That's such a good word, energizing, right? Like how awesome to find things in your business that give you energy.
Yes. Yes.
We need more of that.
Especially when it forces me to go out of my office that is in
Yes.
my home.
Yes. Same.
And
Same.
I am introvert. So when I can say that I've done something with other people that gave
Mm.
me energy, that's a big deal.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I totally appreciate that. I have to drag myself out of the house for networking events and things. And every now and
Yes.
again, you find a really good one. You're like, oh, that was so awesome. I'm ready to take on the world.
Yes.
I love it. I love it. Okay, let's leave our beautiful smart community with one last piece of advice.
Yes.
If you were speaking to a female founder who was just getting started and feeling a little bit overwhelmed with what they'd bitten off in terms of starting their own business, would there be
Yeah.
any piece of advice that you might give them that has held true for you in your journey?
Yes. Don't go the journey alone.
Mm,
Get one, two, or five business besties. Get a tribe, get a group of people or a person who is going through the same thing that you're going through, starting their business. So that when you are talking about your frustrations, you've got someone who truly understands because they're going through it too. And
mm.
maybe you all can support each other through the journey, you can help each other. But that is what I did. And it has sustained me. We've learned from each other. And I would not trade my business besties for anything in the world.
That is incredible. And I think such a wise piece of advice. I could not agree with you more. On the days where I'm feeling like I can't do it, they're the people you call. They're the ones who you drop a quick text or an Instagram message or a phone call, and they're always there to support
Yes,
you.
yes, they are. They are.
Beautiful. Tiffany, you are absolutely incredible. Thank you so much for sharing your journey and wisdom and, thoughts on this whole crazy ride that we call business. It's been an honor
Yeah.
to have you.
Thank you. Such an honor to be here and to meet you.